Eagles. And guard number 1, Alfonso Tan. And forward number 8, Mikey Ong. And center number 15, Owen Calanasan. The other guard number 17, Henry Suwico. And the other forward number 24, Christian Porter. Their head coach is Reggie Varilla. Here now is the starting lineup of your UE Junior Warriors. And guard number 3, Dre De Leon. And forward number 6, John Alejandro. And center number 9, Jaden Datumalim. The other forward number 24, Christopher Lagat. In the other guard number 54, Lance Sabroso. Their head coach is Carl Santos. Officiating this ball game, our crew chief, Ferdy Manjalak. Umpire 1, A. Season. In umpire 2, Oliver Pederio.
The starting five for Ateneo, it's Tan, Suwico, Porter, Ong, and the kid in the middle, Calanasan. And for UE, it's De Leon, Sabroso, Alejandro, Lagat, and Datumalim.
An interesting starting five for the Ateneo Blue Eagles today, yo. With Calanasan starting the ball game.
Our officials, Manjalak, Season, those will officiate the game for us. But going back to your point, Jana, it's the last game of the season, and you know, Coach Reggie will want to experiment using his grade 9 student Owen inside for Ateneo.
Right, talking about Calanasan, who's towering the middle. He's much bigger than Chris Porter, so I'm sure coach is trying to really experiment on him, trying to groom him.
And Lagat starts us off, one of the best shooters in our league, Christopher Lagat. That's a hard foul. Ateneo at 4-9. Last season they finished 5-9, so they want to potentially tie that winning record. But in general, for Ateneo, this is one of the winningest programs in high school basketball. Now they've missed the Final Four for the past 2 seasons. Under Coach Reggie Varilla, you know, I guess this is a transition period, so to speak, for Ateneo. Wouldn't you agree?
That's right. I believe Coach Reggie is trying to, you know, hone his players and really build up the program that he's established the past 2 seasons. So it's really a developmental stage for him and the rest of the Blue Eagles.
Now, lest we forget, you know, last season they had LeBron Nieto, and before the pandemic, he had Kai Soto. So it's really the stars of left the coop, so to speak, for Ateneo.
That's right, and that leaves so much opportunity for other players to really step up and really take the ball that Coach Reggie's been giving them.
In the meantime, Sabroso with the left-handed reverse. Sabroso will be one of the stars for UE next season. In the meantime, Porter is bottled up. Suwico has under 10 to work with. Shot clock now at 3. Somebody has got to get busy. That is fouled by UE. De Leon, can he complete the steal? But he forces the shot clock violation.
Great defense there for the UE Junior Red Warriors. And you can see that they came out here to really pressure the Ateneo Blue Eagles. They have so much energy at the start of the ball game.
Talking about UE, they had the chance to get into the Final Four in their last game day last Wednesday. We're hoping that maybe FEU or USC might lose, and they hope to win against NU, but alas, they won't make it to the Final Four. But what a job so far for Coach Carl Santos and his team.
Right, as we know, Coach Carl Santos, it's his first year in handling the UE Junior Red Warriors. So in terms of talking about the program, it's just newly established, and yet despite that, they had chances of making it to the Final Four. But the program is at its infancy. So you can see certain games where they fall back during the last part of the ball game in the fourth quarter and eventually lose the ball game.
And that's Coach Carl Santos, former head coach of LSGH.
But a bright future ahead for this program, that's for sure.
So coming up on 2 minutes into this first period, they have a steal by De Leon. De Leon all alone for 2.
And that pressure executed by the Junior Red Warriors is just paying off, forcing turnovers and fast break plays against ADMU.
Oh, 𝔐𝔞𝔕 wasn't ready for the pass, but the ball is saved. It's still Ateneo ball. Here is Tan. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, he used the Porter screen. Chris inside for two.
What a great pick and roll play there by 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 and Porter. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 just throwing two Junior Red Warriors defense there. And let's talk about 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 getting that steal also. And again, that 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 Porter connection working for the Blue Eagles.
And this 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 Porter connection really developed late in the second round, right?
Right.
𝔘𝔫𝔢 will answer from deep.
So far, hot start for the Junior Red Warriors. 2 3-point shots already for them in the first 3 minutes of the ball game.
Porter is fouled way outside. That's something that 𝔬𝔬𝔪 would want to have back because he fouled Porter way outside.
Right. Coach Carl Santos disagreeing to the aggression there.
Alonzo will check in for Lagat. 𝔬𝔬𝔪 will have 14 on the shot clock. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, jumper is offline. Sabroso battling his way inside. That is an offensive foul, much to his disagreement.
Great anticipation and great job at selling the ball. Talk about Alonzo Tan. He knew the style of Sabroso, and he knows Sabroso is going to try to bully him. That's why he draw that offensive foul.
Basang-basa si Sabroso doon. And here's Sabroso with the steal. Sabroso, he has 𝔘𝔫𝔢 on the side, who decides to put it back out. And that is a traveling violation on the 𝔬𝔬𝔪. And our officials have been on point that all season long. Those who want to dribble first before, those who want to step first before dribbling. And it's really a learning process for these kids, right, Alan?
Right, it's very important for them to really go back to the basics and remember these basic fundamentals, because as you get to the next level, those calls you shouldn't get those calls anymore because it's a wasted possession for your team.
Spoken like a true guard. No, but seriousness, those are the things, dribbling, waiting for a screen, those are fundamentals.
That's right, and I tell you this, back in our college days, at the start of every practice, we really do the basic fundamentals. Literally passing, chest pass, bounce pass, those one-handed lob passes. We really do those basic fundamentals, and it's so important to remind you of these things, because often with all the YouTube, the videos, the skills, the highlights, you tend to just copy those things and you forget about what the basic fundamentals are.
Very good point. Ziv Espinas, one of the young stars of Ateneo, is in the ball game.
That's right. What luxury does Ziv Espinas have? Taking notes from his dad after every game or perhaps after every practice. I'm so excited to see this young kid grow and play his next season.
Anytime Chris Urbina is in, the fiery guards of Ateneo. So it's 11-7, just past the 6-minute mark here in the first. That jumper is good from Alonzo.
Hot start by the Junior Red Warriors.
Urbina outside to 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 from deep.
That was a great answer. And a great way to break the press, talking about Chris Urbina and setting up 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 for that corner three.
UE is up by 3. 𝔘𝔫𝔢 can't extend.
fantastic start for both teams, talking about their offense. We're so used to them looking for their big men, talking about Chris Porter, John Alejandro, but so far we haven't really seen their offense blowing through these guys.
Again, this is the last game for both these teams. All bets are off. They want to play a different kind of style, play loose, no pressure.
Right, perhaps experiment a few things, see what looks they can have aside from their, common looks.
Porter with the offensive rebound, one of the best offensive rebounders in the game, but he loses the leather. Almanza lost control. That's an offensive foul.
Got caught shoving, using his arm, shoving the Urbina on that play. And going back to your point, Yo-Yo, it's really them trying to experiment as we see early substitutions by both teams.
It's only Madranka who just checked in. And I'm sure both these coaches want to give the undergraduates more playing time, while at the same time playing the seniors because it's their last game. So it's a balancing act.
Balance of both, that's right.
Jumper is off from Prado. Now you touched on our pregame, the emotions that go through a final game. Knowing that your season is over, is your preparation any different mentally, or your pregame routine is any different?
It's nothing different, you just want to finish your season strong. You want to continue what you're doing right all throughout. So your mindset still has to be the same. In fact, your mindset should be, there's more aggression, but mas may gigil because you want to remember the season that you ended with a win.
Talking about their final game, it's Chris Porter's final UAAP high school basketball game. He is in grade 12. Undoubtedly the star of Ateneo this season. And General, if this is a fan's first time watching Chris Porter, let's say they just tune in on the app and they know, uy, naglalaro pala yung kapatid ni Chris Porter, the elder brother. How would you describe his game?
Chris Porter is an operator down below. He's bull strong. And what I like about his game is, aside from his offensive presence, it's the way he positions himself to set his teammates up and the way he positions himself to grab the rebound.
So Porter is still in the ball game. That is a foul on Espinas. And Espinas will be one of the players tasked to banner this team once Chris leaves. Espinas is just in grade 9, I believe.
Such a young kid, and yet he's performing at this level. It's just amazing. I mean, he has big shoes to fill because Chris Porter is sleeping, but through the years, he's definitely going to develop.
Sarza with the work inside the paint.
And that's bad news for Coach Reggie as you look at that replay. Sarza getting that contact from Espinas and hitting that shot and one. And now Espinas was in the foul, so that's bad news for Coach Reggie and the Blue Eagles.
So an early exit for Espinas. Sarza can't complete the three-point play. But guess who? It's Alejandro inside. But he misses that shot. 3:45 to play in the first. Urbina is denied up top. It's Despi, looks at his options. He goes to Almanza, who takes aim, too strong. Errant pass. And that will lead to a foul against UE, I believe.
I like that look by Urbina, that go-ahead pass. But Troy de Guzman has to really position himself and create that eye contact. He always has to look at the ball. He did a good job sprinting the lane to do early transition, but he needs to look at the ball.
And I guess my question is, how do you, I guess, practice that? Let's say fast break, you have to look at the ball, and it's just a matter of paying attention to details.
That's right. It's paying attention to the details and creating that habit. So it starts with practice. You always want to run with purpose, as what the coaches would often talk about it.
And the former Blue Eagles in attendance. Is it Jolo Mendoza?
Gio Chu.
Yeah, Gio Chu as well.
Of course, two superstars that came out of the Ateneo Blue Eagles program.
It's nice to see, reporting, knowing it's their last game.
Right, and for the young Blue Eagles, you want to showcase your talent to your older kuyas and hopefully be like them one day.
Alejandro operating inside.
John Alejandro has been big for the Red Warriors all throughout the season, and I love the energy that he brings to the team.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the first. He is up by 4. The 7 to shoot for the Blue Eagles. So, now again, are looking for win number 5 on the season. That is a beautiful inbounds play that leads Troy de Guzman basket.
Beautiful and on point indeed. Look at that. Look at that replay. Great decoy to the corner for that alley play for Troy de Guzman.
Troy de Guzman had coming off a very good game. 10 points, 8 rebounds versus UST. And that was the game when Chris Porter struggled from the field. As we look at Coach Tab. Of course, if they're former Blue Eagles, of course, there's the main guy on the sidelines, Coach Tab, of course, looking at his next crop of Eagles.
Right. Perhaps looking at Chris Porter, watching him play in this game.
And that is a carry. He touched on knowing the fundamentals, and our referees have been very critical of those tiny details that maybe as young players tend to forget.
Right, the carries and the graphics. When we look at that replay, transition 3 by Chris
Lagat, yeah.
He's now 2 for 2 in the ball game, and it's just the first quarter.
They make that 3 for 3, Gerald.
Right on cue, Chris Lagat. What a start for this young kid.
Now his full name is Christopher Lagat, and his nickname sounds really cute, Gerald. You know what? Topher Lagat. Pero kinuha niya yung
sa likod.
Hindi sa harap. But Lagat shooting 27.3% from deep. One of the top shooters in the league. And in terms of free throws, Gerald, he's second in free throw percentage, talking about Lagat.
And we just witnessed that smooth stroke from the free throw line.
Urbina having trouble. And there's Yui who is third in steals. Lagat, another one, that is short.
That was a heat check right there.
Now he wanted that one. De Guzman. A nice ball movement by Ateneo. Urbina too strong. De Guzman can corral the rebound. Lagat all day to shoot. Can't make the defense pay. Urbina pushing. So the Eagles will exhibit patience here. De Guzman left it short.
Empty possession so far by both teams, just displaying that defense, the tight defense.
We're talking about back-to-back empty possessions for both squads, but here is 𝔬𝔬𝔪 with 5 on the game clock. Check that. We still have 50 seconds left. That is technical error on the clock.
Again, a near steal by the Junior Red Warriors. They already have 4 in the first quarter. And that has been the weakness of the Blue Eagles this season. Breaking down the ball, they're relying heavily on their small guards in Urbina, in Tan, in Lagdamen. So it's something that they need to develop moving forward.
Down to the last 40 seconds here. They go to De Guzman, back out to Chris. Urbina misfires. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Sabroso, patented spin move, can't get it off the glass. And a little overzealous there was Pedrita, who's called for the foul.
Not a good foul by Pedrita, especially that they're now in the penalty. So that's 2 freebies for Ebdane.
And those are one of the things you have to know as a young player, and as guards especially, right?
Right. It's just your presence in the ball game. You really need to know the shot clock, the time left, and of course, if you have a foul left, these things it can be crucial, especially in the late game.
Of course, you have to keep those details in check, especially when you're young na gusto mo maglaro lang. You have to remember those details. In the meantime, 11 seconds left. Lagat leads it to Alejandro, but can't control the pass. Fortunately, the ball will stay for the boys in red.
7 seconds left, so it's exciting to see what inbounds play they're going to come up with.
Sabroso. He is bumped, no call. Sarza, no, but the putback is good by Alejandro.
He's everywhere. He was at the right place at the right time for that offensive rebound.
Just a touch. Opening period. And Jaral, just your initial thoughts on how these two teams are playing, knowing that this is their last game of the season. As we check the father of Ziv, that's Gabby Espina's wrong color of cap. Gabby, dapat blue. Dapat blue. Red yung kalaban eh. But, going back to a ball game. Action-packed first quarter. How would you dissect that first 10 minutes?
For the first 10 minutes, the Red Warriors just evidently more aggressive, with more energy coming into this ball game. They've forced so many turnovers. They've had already 4 steals in just the first quarter. So, you know, the ADMU Blue Eagles need to match that energy, or they need to be more composed against the defense.
And that shot was well composed from Lance Lagdamen.
And I like that play by ADMU Blue Eagles. It looked like sort of an organized chaos where we thought it was going nowhere, but suddenly they found an open shot by Lagdamen in the corner.
Here's Alejandro. And he is fouled. Fouled by Tupas.
Look at that replay. Great setup for the wide open Lagdamen.
What a play! What a play by Pedrita. Duped everyone, fooled everyone inside the Phil Owen Center.
Right, excuse me for my early reaction. You know, I didn't get to hold it in. That was such a rare play, but we love to see it. That was such a smart play by Pedrita.
Put that on Instagram, put that on TikTok, put that on YouTube, put that on every social media you have.
That's gonna reach some views right there. I can't get over that anymore. It was such a rare.
We were both stunned.
It's such a rare play in any basketball setting. Not even NBA players do it as often.
I don't know, we should have stopped the second quarter and, you know,
Just
stop
watch the
everything.
replay.
Now, when we get to our second quarter highlights, Papa, mga dalawang ulit ang ganon.
Right.
So third, Ebdani takes a breather. UE basketball. Sabroso. That is off to the right. Urbina looking to push. He does not have numbers. De Los Santos to Porter. And Porter will have to earn his points at the line.
Great play there and a great setup again by De Los Santos. You know, TJ De Los Santos, his numbers don't really show sometimes on how great he plays. He's like the middle guy for the Blue Eagles in terms of setting them up, pushing the ball. He can actually do it all for them.
And sometimes you need those utility players when you have stars like Chris Porter, right?
That's right. You need that support is much needed.
Alejandro Tulagat to Pedrita, who, in case you just joined us, missed the highlight of the day. Pedrita, another highlight on the way.
Pedrita playing the Mr. Highlight role. Setting up Alejandro on that play.
Lead back up to 8. There's a push inside. That is an offensive foul against the Blue Eagles.
I like that anticipation by Alejandro, but let's watch that replay by Pedrita crossing up Porter for that setup on Alejandro. You know, drawing 3 defenders in that play.
The kids are having fun here on a Sunday afternoon. Alejandro probing, leaves it to Sabroso against the tall trees of Ateneo. There's a whistle underneath. If that's on Porter, that should be his second foul. Indeed, that is on Porter. That is second foul.
And that's horrible news for Coach Reddy to start the second quarter with Zim Espinas having 2 fouls in the first quarter, and this time around with 7 more minutes in the second quarter, Chris Porter now has 2. More than that, Chris Porter is definitely not happy. He doesn't want to sit on the bench playing his last game
or fouling out. Let's say,
Right.
fourth quarter fouling out. That's not something you want to tell your friends and family. Oh, kumusta yung last game mo? And you don't want to say, fouled out ka.
Right. Or I just played 15 minutes. There's a foul trouble.
Do you remember your last game in the UAAP was that Final Four battle, right? So I guess that's a memory in itself that you guys went into the Final Four.
That's right. There was a memory that I'll continue to share to my future kids, grandkids. That experience we had was no better story than that. At least in my opinion.
Alejandro goes baseline, somehow ends up with Lagat. Can't connect from deep. Of course, as UP is now steady, a rising dynasty as Lupas misses from deep. You were the first team that went to the finals, right? In this new generation of UP.
That's right. After 30-something years at that time. So, I gotta give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, of course, and the management. But more than that, it's the community, the growing support of the community. And it's just really nice to see everyone come out, encouraging us, giving us support. So it takes a village, is what they say.
And I'm sure these two programs want to have that same rise to possibly the Final Four or even the finals.
Right, and more than that, the transition from the juniors program to the seniors program, that has been really big and special. And a team that actually does well in that is the FEU. They've developed so many talents in their junior program that just went off and transitioned up to their seniors. So we want to see more of those.
Back to the action. De Los Santos can't connect from deep. Suiko slicing his way inside, blows the layup. Under 6 to play here in the first half. Nice steal. Here come the Blue Eagles. De Los Santos. This time he scores.
I love that move by TJ De Los Santos. His impact, the numbers don't show, but when they need to score, when they need to push the ball, he's always there as we look at that. Nice, sweet move.
We have a tie. The Junior Warriors are having a bit of trouble here in the second as the Blue Eagles have come alive here. Some pressure now from Ateneo.
Much more energy for the Blue Eagles this quarter compared to the first.
𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 surveys the floor. Almanza, beautiful place set up by UE.
Right, that was a wide open three-pointer by Almanza in that play.
And just like that, the Junior Warriors have restored order. They're back up by 8. De Los Santos, ball is picked up. Sarza all the way.
What a move by Sarza against 2 Eagles. that sidestep, or was what they call Pinoy step. So look at that, gets the steal, pushing the ball against two guys, and that Pinoy step to finish the layup as the Blue Eagles calls the time.
Bounds to his name, but his team is down by 10. And after that Pinoy step layup by Sarza, it is now a 35-25 advantage.
Right, that's just when we thought that the Blue Eagles are creating their own run, are gaining momentum. Here comes the Junior Red Warriors, and on cue, forcing another turnover off that press, converting to that fast break layup by Sarza.
A near steal there, but that is a foul.
Fantastic grab there. Sarza. Great job by De Leon, rewarding your big man for his efforts.
Gneo is staring at a 12-point deficit. Another steal by UE. A 3-on-2 fast break. But the Junior Warriors pulls on the brakes. It's with De Leon. That is offline. Porter and saves it to his teammate. Urbina pushing. And finding the bleeding stop for Ateneo as Domanga scores.
Great go-ahead pass by Lagdamen to Domangas to stop the 7-0 run.
The Blue Eagles are having all sorts of trouble with that pressure defense by UE. So what did Urbina do? He pushed the ball. That led to that Domangas basket.
Much needed basket for the Blue Eagles.
Datumalem gives it to his guard. Back to Datumalem. Terrific two-man game.
Awesome. Beautiful pass by De Leon. We're seeing a couple of highlights from these Junior Red Warriors guards. That handoff, ball screen, drawing two defenders. Or that nice pass to Datumalem down below.
I think our officials will review that last sequence. Is it a possible foul on Datumalem? Nonetheless, the score right now is 39-27 after that last basket.
That's right, and just looking through the numbers, the Junior Red Warriors have forced 11 turnovers already for the Blue Eagles.
And Ateneo as a team averages about 20.5 per game, so they're at the halfway mark instead of 3:39 left here in the second. So we have our verdict here. So Jaden Datumalem gets the basket, but as he was scoring, he had an offensive foul. That's why we're going the other way here.
Just like that, it's also 3 personal fouls for the Tumalin. That's why Coach Carl has put in Don Alejandro to stop.
outside shot is way off. That was a Madranka who misses. Alejandro Maruchulen. Flat is blocked by Porter.
Great anticipation by Porter there for that block. And it's hard to block a floater, Yo-Yo. So that was tough. That was really tough.
De Leon to Almanza. Almanza, the top scorer in Luis last game, tried to go reverse, but that is a miss. Oh, front rims that three was Lagdamen. De Leon. So both teams misfiring here as towards hit the latter part of the second period. Another short jumper. But that basket is good by Dumangas.
That was a nice, I would call it a setup by Porter, you know. Instead of grabbing that offensive rebound, just tapping it to Dumangas for that layup.
Almanza. That is a turnover. So it's Ateneo's turn to force a turnover. But going back to your point you said earlier, Ateneo has really had difficulty, you know, when it comes to pressure defense, whether it's UE pressing them or USC or Adamson, one of the better teams, they've had their struggles bringing down that basketball.
Right. I would like to see them share the ball more, because their guards are much smaller and these other guys will really pressure them. And as we see the Red Warriors calling a timeout to settle down a little bit.
Here, 152 left here in the first half. UE looking to get win at number 6. This is already an improvement for UE. Last season they were 3-11, but under a new system, a new coach, they're now up to 5 wins.
Chance to double their win output last season, and it's just their first year as a program. What more in the coming years?
Leon can't connect. Sarza with the lead possession. Alejandro, that's what he does.
Alejandro getting his 10th point of the ball game to go around with 8 rebounds, so he's not that double-double cracker right now.
Oh, can't connect from deep. Yui is pushing. Alejandro, offensive rebound. Takes it upon himself.
He had a kick out now. He had a kick out there too. But he was feeling it, you know, turning around and getting that layup.
Biggest lead for Yui right now. Oh, still can answer. Porter, he'll try. Also a miss from Porter. 50 seconds left. Yui can add to this lead. But that is a steal. And that play is completed by Alfonso Tan.
That young kid. And I've been watching and observing this kid. You know, despite his size and despite how young he is, he's really like going at it against these other bigger and tougher guards.
Urbina, back-to-back layup for Ateneo.
And also, Urbina's another young guard Not the biggest of size, but definitely has the biggest of heart.
Down to the last 10 seconds here. De Leon probing. Alejandro, sweet spot inside.
All about Alejandro scoring the last 6 points for the Red Warriors.
It has been a dominant
just the first half. So a lot more things can happen in this ball game for the Junior Red Warriors and Alejandro.
Shot clock now at 7. 𝔬𝔤𝔤. Difficult shot for Mark 𝔬𝔤𝔤.
I'm not sure how he made it, but he still did anyways. Mark 𝔬𝔤𝔤 now with 8 points across his team.
Biggest lead now by Yui is at 14. That shot was off by 𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬 line rubber. Tried to leave it to Alejandro. Instead, it ends up with Ateneo.
A lazy pass there by Sabroso, leading to that turnover.
Porter asking for it. He gets it. Against two defenders. Does not work. Alejandro, the high court man for UE. Now it's Sabroso. Sabroso. Spin move. Left and short. Put back no.
That patented spin move by Sabroso not working on that play.
Ateneo has not scored yet here in the third. Deepwater all the way in and out.
Madranka so far still cannot get it to go in, but you know, as we know, Madranka's a streaky shooter, so he needs to take those shots in order for the Junior Red Warriors to, you know, to bring their defense outside, to give more space to Chris Porter down below.
14 at the shot clock for Ateneo. They go to Porter once again. This time, Chris scores.
And one for Chris Porter. And if he makes a free throw, it's going to be a double-double. But look at that seal and that perfect entry pass by Domangkas to Chris Porter.
Chris Porter, third in points in the league, second in rebounds. Just a phenomenal season. Part of the mythical 5 last season, and he is on pace to have another mythical award.
Right, and that's a double-double for Chris Porter. And aside from his last game, I don't think he had any other game that he didn't score a double-double.
This is a good matchup. Alejandro putting in the points and rebounds. So is Chris Porter. Sabroso stopped by Porter. Lagan has to put it up to the side. Alejandro reverse no.
Another great stop by the Blue Eagles. And unfortunately, they could have made a run, or they could have converted that basket, but just a careless turnover for the Blue Eagles. Backcourt violation. Domangkas wasn't aware that Urbina hasn't crossed the line on that sequence.
And naharap pa ng referee, caught red-handed. De Leon creates space for himself. Can't connect on the jumper. Urbina racing down the court. That is blocked by Sarza.
Sarza having himself a block party. That's his, if I'm not mistaken, that's his 4th block in the ballgame as we look at that. Just meeting the Urbina layup up there.
USU's defense has been on point so far. That is just a careless turnover by Ateneo.
Coach Reggie is not happy with those turnovers.
Coach Eman Monfort talking to Coach Reggie Varela. Their team still down by double digits. Ball movement by UE here leads to a wide open Alejandro.
Oh, that was beautifully executed by the Junior Red Warriors. They were so patient and crisp with every movement there. Screen after screen, handoff after handoff.
A much needed shot from third Ebdane.
Wow, we gotta watch this replay. Handoff after handoff, and then that ball screen leading to that beautiful pass, 𝔘𝔫𝔦𝔦 to Alejandro.
On the other end, Ebdane with the shot.
Much needed basket for them.
Let's see if Junior Warriors have that same type of play once again. Just a ton of screens that led to that Alejandro layup last time out. This time, Desby is cut off. 𝔘𝔫𝔦𝔦 from deep. He bricked that one. Ebdane pushing. Gets the layup to drop.
And I love what Chris Porter did there, you know, paving the way for 𝔐𝔤𝔦 for that layup.
Lagat using the screen. Lagat.
Lagat just patiently, you know, maneuvering his way for that pull-up jumper.
5:30 remaining and what has been an exciting third period. Both teams trading big blows here.
Look at that, 𝔐𝔤𝔦 pushing the ball, and look at what Porter does. He just seals 𝔖𝔱𝔥 in that play, making 𝔐𝔤𝔦 have an easy layup. And in this play, Lagat just patiently using the ball screen and choosing to pull up and making it.
15 on the shot clock for UE. Almanza sees an opening. They have a foul. Ball stays in this side of the court. In the first round, when UE won 73-70, it was a nip and tuck affair all throughout that game. Let's see if that will be the same result here in this ball game. Lagat, jumper, top shot, over Lagat.
What a top shot, and he's laughing after making that shot. Shot clock may have was winding down in that play before Lagat deciding to take that jumper.
Porter. And he gets the three. Doesn't take a lot of threes, but he knocks that one there.
And that's something that he's developed as the season went along, and that's going to be something that he's going to carry on and use in the seniors division.
Lagat feeling it. He's clipped, but he gets the ball. 13 on the shot clock. Almanza takes it upon himself. That's a miss, but we have a whistle underneath.
Lots of contact there, but Lagat caught pushing Ebdane in that rebounding play. But going back, Chris Porter, I mean, he understands that he's a little bit undersized entering the seniors division. So he needs to develop, you know, different aspects into his game, because as we know, he's an operator down below, but this time around, he's really showing us that he can hit it from outside. And the next step for him, I'd like to see him dribble the ball more often and be more comfortable with it.
He is asking for the basketball, but that pass was too long. But I guess that's the usual conundrum of high school players transitioning to college, that in between your height, maybe you're not that tall, maybe you're too short. That is an adjustment, I guess, for all players. How did you adjust to the college game, knowing na, oh, mas malalaki pa pala yung mga naglalaro sa college?
Right, there's definitely an adjustment period, and it starts with practice and, you know, just being more immersed into the speed of the game, the size of, and the physicality. But aside from that, you gotta do your work too. Like I, for one, used to be a shooting guard back in high school, but I had to transition to be a point guard. So I really need to work on my dribbling and my overall feel for the game.
In the meantime, De Los Santos, you love his hustle. Comes up with a steal. Here comes Uno Prado. Prado, hang time. Espinas with the cleanup.
Look at that. The energy that TJ De Los Santos is bringing in. And of course, Deep Espinas as well.
And Jaden Tumalim and the rest of the UE Junior Warriors are now clinging to just a 5-point lead. It was as high as 14 at one point.
That's right, and that's why Coach Carl had to call a timeout to potentially stop this momentum with the Blue Eagles.
Alejandro had a big first half, has been quiet so far. Shot clock at 3. The Tumalim blows the layup.
Chance right now for the Blue Eagles to make this a one-possession ball game.
Lagdamen receives the Porter screen. All that pass is picked up by Despy. Despy has one man to beat. Despy! That is an offensive foul on Despy.
Despy lowering his shoulder. That's why he was called for an offensive foul. Look at that. Really. And look at that effort by Lagdamen, throwing his chest out there. A clear offensive foul by Despy.
Now, these kids are fearless with drawing of fouls. And you are fearless as well with drawing those ones. Parang ano ba yung mindset pag receive ka na offensive foul? Di ba kayo natatakot?
I'll get back to your point, but that was a highlight by TJ De Los Santos going reverse on that play. But going back to your question, honestly, hindi siya nakakatakot because you're anticipating it. You know it's gonna happen, so you know you're gonna fall already. But minsan, may mga instances, if may nakikita ka, like for example, Chris Porter, if I see him running down the lane going hard at me, medyo may kaba na ako dun.
De Los Santos, I think he's going on your favorite player list. He's been doing a lot and now part of the highlight reel.
That's right, TJ De Los Santos sitting on the air on that play. But more importantly, it's now down to a one-possession ball game.
Ateneo looking to tie or cut this lead to 1. Shot clock is at 5. Porter for the tie. And the ball will go out of bounds.
Trying to go home run there was Chris Porter.
Ateneo has outscored UE 17-8 in this period.
And this is something that's been bringing the UE Junior Red Warriors down. They play with so much energy in the first half, and when it comes to the third quarter or fourth quarter, they tend to let up a bit.
To answer your point, in their last game against the Bullpups, they only scored 5 points in the third period. So that is one of the keys steal of UE. And Alejandro looking to change that.
that De Leon to Alejandro connection has been on point in this ball game. De Leon right now with 5 assists. And if Alejandro only made that shot, that would have been his 6th assist.
You mentioned you wanted to see what kind of growth from Chris Porter. What about Alejandro's game? One of the top forwards in our league. Certainly one of the best players for Coach Carl Santos.
You know, with his energy and his size and again his ability to be so mobile. You know, this guy's on point. Look at that, flexing after that, getting his missed free throw and converting. But going back to Alejandro, he needs to develop a shot if he wants to go to the seniors division. But I like how flexible he can be because he's so agile as a player.
Trying to restore order. They're up by 6. De Leon can't follow on the lead. Nice find by Espinas. And that will lead to some free throws for Troy de Guzman.
What a smart big man. Talking about Zip Espinas, you know, just looking for his guards, looking where his teammates are and seeing someone wide open for that faster play.
Troy de Guzman, one of the graduating players of Ateneo. And talking about former Ateneo players, Gio Chu and
Sean Kitevis.
A lot of Ateneo players in attendance. Jolo Mendoza is there as well. Atonasisco.
That's right. And of course the coaching staff, Coach Tab Baldwin and Coach Sandy Arespacochaga behind the bench of the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Mas nakaka-pressure ba yun na I'm just spitballing ako yan na knowing na yung seniors coach na nandun sa, hindi lang nasa likod pa ng bench, hindi lang nanonood.
You know, it can go 2 ways. One is it can be added pressure for you to show what you can give so that, you know, you get a chance to crack at it at the seniors division, but also it can be a motivation for you to play, you know. It's a motivation for you to show what you can do, to showcase your talent, basically.
So at least the former Ateneo players and coaching staff are in for a treat. It's just a 5-point game. But Alejandro extends that lead to 7.
Wow, John Alejandro, he's out here on a mission. 19 points and 14 rebounds for him.
That is stopped by Destiny, but that is a foul. But you're right, Alejandro has been doing a lot of damage. And a lot of his points look like that, Daryl.
That's right, and good job to his teammates, really trying to set him up. Earlier on, it was De Leon, but in that last play, it was Despi. So,
and I just want to add on, interestingly, the last time these two teams met, as we take a look at Jolo Mendoza, he was a stud in high school, one of the best shooters. But, you know, for Alejandro, he had 23 points in their first round meeting, so he's right up there right now.
I won't be surprised if he scores more than that first game output.
Lagat somehow puts it up, but that's a miss. Alejandro will go to the line.
And Yo-Yo, you know, looking at the stats, how impressive is this? 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 of them being offensive for John Alejandro.
Alejandro, as we take a look at Lance Sabroso, who's in the bench. Lance will be one of the stars of you next season. There's Coach Sandy. We didn't get to see Coach Sandy on our screens earlier, talking with Coach Tab.
Probably scouting who's going to go to the seniors division next.
We still have one more game later today. Zobel and UPIS. And these high school kids will go to college. Maybe it's the same school, maybe it's a different school. 7.9 seconds left here. De Los Santos. Nice pass. But that will do it here to end the third. Ateneo fought back, Gerald, but UE has kept the Blue Eagles at bay.
That's right. The Ateneo Blue Eagles brought it down to a
Sense of purpose here. 23 points and 60 big rebounds. Moments away, start the third period. And Ateneo fought back in that third period. And really has kept them at bay as we take a look at the scoring by quarter.
quarter scoring dominated by UE Junior Red Warriors in the first half. 25-17 for the first quarter, 20-16 for the second quarter. But Ateneo fighting their way and winning that third quarter, 20-15.
De Leon, jumper, no. Porter corrals another rebound. It's been a battle between these two bigs, Porter and Alejandro. Porter trying to give it up. That is a turnover.
And that's something also I want to develop from Porter. He can hit it from downtown, but in those instances, he had that pull-up jumper in the perimeter. So he could have taken it in that possession, but instead he opted to go for a to dribble down the ball.
Oh, Henry Surico is blocked up top. Tremendous recovery by Sarza.
Sarza, what a block. He has himself a block party, 5 blocks in this ball game. And mind you guys, Sarza is not the tallest guy. He may be long, but his timing is impeccable. 5 blocks. Wow.
And he saved the possession for UE, more importantly. Despi having trouble in the inbound. Finally, Nagat has it. Nagat being bothered by Surico. Prado tried to sneak from behind. Alejandro, another offensive rebound. The effort, the hustle, the determination of one Mr. John Alejandro in full display in that sequence.
Wow. Just when we thought the Blue Eagles had a stop there, it's John Alejandro keeping possession and getting that and one. Yo, remove the defensive rebounds. He still has a double-double. 10 offensive rebounds for him.
What heart and grit being displayed by Alejandro in his final game this season. Tan has nowhere to pass to. Finally, Porter comes out. That shot was long for Prado. Despi uses the screen. Alejandro with a nice find. nonetheless, still some free throw opportunities for 𝔬𝔤𝔤.
Alejandro showing us that he can also pass. He's not about rebounds and points. He can set up his teammates too.
I think 𝔬𝔤𝔤 and Alejandro spoke to each other before the game. Si Alejandro, siya na bahala sa rebounds. 𝔬𝔤𝔤, siya na bahala sa blocks.
And they got the defense of the UE Junior Red Warriors covered.
And with those free throws, the lead is now 65 to 53.
A 7-0 start for the Junior Red Warriors. Check that, 5-0 start.
𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔰. Unfortunate miss for 𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔰. Despy to 𝔬𝔤𝔤, push shot, just a tad strong. ADMU is running out of time. 8 minutes left in this game. They cut the lead to 3 earlier in the third period. They have to get to work here. 𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔰 overcooks the 3. Alejandro, too good, wrong.
How does this guy run out of energy? I'm so amazed. He's been getting all the rebounds and running down the floor, getting his layups, setting his teammates up. What a game.
He wants that player of the game honor, Daryl.
Wow.
Urbina leaves it. 𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔰 back outside from deep. And Danny Miss Myers. Touch pass from Porter to 𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔰.
And that just shows how smart Chris Porter is as a player. He knows where his teammates are. He saw that 2 Junior Red Warriors are up on him for the rebounding play. That's why he tapped it to an open 𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔰.
Lagat extends the lead back to 14.
That's money for Topher Lagat. Anything from the perimeter is money.
Are up 69 to 55. All smiles for Topher Lagat. And they want to end the season on a winning note. But standing in their way is Chris Porter and the rest of the Blue Eagles who have that same desire to end the season with a win. But they're down right now by 14. Porter is all alone momentarily. Can't get the layup.
And if the Blue Eagles still want to win this game, they have to make a run right now. Just 6 minutes left into this ball game.
Lagat, I was just about to say, has done a tremendous job in navigating the screens, but that time the Tumalem is called for the offensive foul.
And usually in those instances, it's always a guard to big connection. If you're the guard, you want to wait for your big to settle down first before you move. Because the moment you move and they haven't settled down, that's always going to be called an offensive foul.
And is that like a non-verbal communication? It's something you develop between you and the big man?
Yeah. And it's again, it starts with practice.
May sinisisi ka bang big man nung your time? Si 𝔍𝔤𝔫𝔬𝔫 ba? Magaling ba yung mag-screen before?
Actually, baliktad, sinisisi niya ako kasi I was committing the mistake.
We saw our good friend 𝔍𝔤𝔫𝔬𝔫 in attendance here in this ballgame.
As we know, 𝔍𝔤𝔫𝔬𝔫 is also heading the SNC program for the Junior Red Warriors. Maybe we should ask Jello what program does Juan Alejandro do?
And Lagat, though, is called for the offensive foul.
Right, a clear shot there on Lagat. But what about Chris Urbina? You know, here's an interesting statistic. He's the #1 guy when it comes to forcing offensive fouls. With I think about 2 to 3 a game.
And again, believe ako to players like you, to Urbina, who can really sacrifice their body, because I'm telling you, looking at those big players, I'm scared.
Maaga rin kami natutulog sa sakit ng katawan.
Here is Porter, has not found a lot of scoring here in the second half. Tough shot, asking for a foul, does not get it. Are the UAAP Junior Warriors 5.5 minutes away from securing a victory? Lagat. Cut off. 𝔍𝔠𝔫𝔫. 𝔍𝔠𝔫, top angle. Espinas controls it. Porter, errant pass leads to a turnover. Has done a tremendous job in, shadowing Porter every time he touches the ball, or even when he does not touch the ball.
Right. Normally the offense of the Blue Eagles revolve around Chris Porter, but it's been difficult for them to get the ball to Porter because of just the defense and the way the Junior Red Warriors sag down below against it.
So let's see how the Blue Eagles will fare defensively. Urbina tried to draw an offensive foul again, but he is called for the foul that time.
Look at that. A little too pesky there for Chris Urbina. That's why he was called for a foul.
Here's Urbina shadowing Despi. Shot clock at 10 for 𝔍𝔠𝔫𝔬𝔫. 𝔍𝔠𝔫. Jumper no. Has not found his shot so far in this ball game. Espinas looks at his options. Shot clock at 5. Nice feed inside, but a sorry miss for De Los Santos.
Everything but the shot for that Ateneo play in that last possession.
He's still in control here. Despi, jumper, left it short. Ateneo is running out of time here. Urbina is stopped by Farachibet. Ball is stamped, so that's good. Look at the defense by UE. And now they come up with a steal. 𝔍𝔠𝔫𝔬𝔫. Here's that speed move. And he is bumped, asking for a foul. Does not get it.
And what a sequence we had there. Lots of back and forth. And as we see right now, Lance Lagdamen doing a good job. He saw the frustration in Chris Urbina after that turnover. But, just calling him out and just talking to him.
So we have a stoppage on the court because a technical foul was assessed to Ateneo assistant coach Eman Monfort for entering the court. So I think just as 𝔍𝔠𝔫𝔬𝔫 missed the shot. Then we had that immediate whistle and a stoppage. Initially, I thought it was against Yui. I thought it was against Sabroso, but then our referee said it was on Eman Montfort.
Assistant coach of the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
So there's Coach Eman, still pleading his case.
Coach Eman, multiple championships in the UAAP Seniors Division. And guys like Chris Urbina, Lance Lagdamen, and also Alfonso Tan, I'm sure can learn so much from Coach Eman. Because as we all know, Coach Eman was undersized in the Seniors Division back in his time, and yet he still performed and did so much damage against whoever he's up against.
Perfect example of heart over height.
Right.
So Sabroso just gave UE its biggest lead here at 15 after that technical free throw. Porter versus Alejandro. Near steal by Forochilen. Urbina still has it. Shot clock at 5. Lagdamen, does he know? Espinas, time will run out for Ateneo. No basket, says our referee.
And Ziv Espinas, he recognized the clock, but sadly it was just a little too late. Watching this kid, Ziv Espinas, I covered the very first game of the UAAP Juniors Division. It was against the Blue Eagles versus UBIS. Yeah. And Ziv Espinas almost had a triple-double in that game. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember right, he was just like an assist away from a triple-double or a point away. But I'm really impressed by his feel for the game.
And he has a bright future ahead. Still in junior high school, talking about Espinas. In the meantime, Despi with the desperation shot.
Wow.
And Espinas quickly answers on the other end.
And just like that, I think the whole junior Red Warriors was shocked after Despi making that. That's why Ziv Espinas was left all alone for that fast break layup.
Steal by Porter. 3 guys to beat. Porter was on the breaks. De Los Santos, that's the second time that De Los Santos missed a point-blank range. Despi will hit a desperation shot just a few moments ago, and he is stopped by Porter.
And Chris Porter right now is gassed. Aside from running down the floor, getting rebounds, banging bodies is also actually tiring.
So it's 72 to 50. And UE looking to secure win number 6, which will be a vast improvement from their 3-11 record last season. this is a team to be reckoned with for next year. 7 players will graduate for UE. And I was able to talk to Sabroso earlier, and he said, babawi sila next year. They have that mindset. They really got into the Final Four, but they will want to get into the top 4 next season.
I'm sure they're going to carry whatever they learned and experienced this season and treat it as fuel coming this off-season to prepare.
Porter. Last 2 minutes here in this ball game. Tough angle, but Porter is there. Porter will have a chance at the line once again. Porter certainly one of the stars, not just Ateneo, of the entire league. All eyes will be on him as he transitioned his game into the seniors ranks.
Right, playing his last game, I'm sure he wants to give it his all for the Ateneo community. And it goes to show in his statistics too. 20 rebounds for Chris Porter in this ball game. To go with his 15 points.
Aside from season 81 dyan, yung mga hindi ka pag-graduate, pero alam mong last game mo na, meron ka bang like ideal goal na, oh, I have to play this type of game, this type of numbers, kailangan walang turnover? Was there a mindset in those games?
There's always a mindset, even after every game, because you know what mistakes you did, you know what you need to improve on. So that's what you have. That's what you have in your mind, and that's what you eventually work on.
Both teams will look forward to learning those experiences here after season 86. The 𝔬𝔤𝔪𝔢, that will stay on the UE side.
That may be the last time we see Joaquin De Leon play in the UAAP Juniors. What a season for this young kid.
I guess this is a chance for the two coaches to give their seniors their flowers, but also giving playing time to their younger stars. Our referees will check that last out-of-bounds sequence. And for Ateneo, again, they will miss the Final Four for the 2nd straight season. I'm sure they will be eager to bounce back next year.
Right, I mean, the Ateneo program is one of the best, if not the best, in the country. So you can expect that they're gonna come back strong.
UE still in possession after that review. 9 on the shot clock and 1:33 left on the game clock. Look at that scramble on the floor. Both teams still fighting hard. Espinas will inbound, and I'm sure Ziv will one of the players who will banner this team in the future when Chris Porter leaves.
Right, we can expect the Ateneo offense to revolve around Ziv Espinas.
And here's the aforementioned Espinas who gets the bucket.
Right on cue, Ziv Espinas showing up as a glimpse of what we can expect in the seasons to come.
Down to the final minute here in this ball game. Benedita connects from deep. Much to the delight of the UE faithful in attendance here inside the 𝔐𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰 Center.
The Junior Red Warriors just enjoying, but let's look at that 𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔬𝔬𝔦𝔱𝔥.
UE looking to secure that win to end their season. Junior Warriors will just miss out on the Final Four. They were hoping the Baby Tamaraws and the Tiger Cubs would lose their remaining games, and they could win as well, but in the end, they just fell short. Prado misfires. Out of bounds, ball was saved with 𝔐𝔐𝔬𝔦𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬 leaders of Ateneo is already on the bench. Chris Porter just checked out the last 50 plus seconds here. They have a foul just as Tupas was getting the basketball. Referees are discussing if that is anything worth reviewing. It is not. Just 14 seconds on the shot clock rather. Tupas with the leather, one of the graduating players. That shot by Dumacas is off. Benedita, who had a highlight to remember earlier. Down to the last 30 seconds here. Guzman to Tupas. And I think UE will hold the final possession. You see there Coach Carl Santos saying, do not shoot anymore.
Right. What a way to end the season for Coach Carl and the rest of the UE Junior Red Warriors.
And that wraps up the season for both these squads. Ateneo will finish the season at 4-10. UE, meanwhile, will be at 6-8. What a tremendous win by UE, who will have 7 players graduating. And for Ateneo, I believe 6 players as well graduating. Tremendous careers for our high school players. But your final here.